What's good, everybody? Welcome back to Bain Break It Down Forex. It's your boy Big Bain in this thing. You guys guessed it, another week, another opportunity for us to make some money in the Forex market. So let's get right to it. All right, boom. Over on the dollar, guys, we got a nice surprise. All right, so we got a very nice hammer candle that is formed on Friday. All right, it swept the low of Thursday and it tapped into our point of interest, which is this nice demand area, and it definitely looks like it's going to continue rising. All the liquidity is sitting above this structure level here inside of this fair value gap and at the swing points at the very top. So this is almost like a double top right here, and then again we have a lower high that price will gravitate to, right, to seek out that buy side liquidity. All right, so the structure that we have right now on the dollar is very bullish. All right, very bullish. So there is a possibility that when we begin the week, we can see the dollar completely gap up, right? Just because it's had a lot of momentum, a bullish momentum on Friday, that it most likely will continue to display for the rest of the week. All right, not a lot of major economic news for the dollar this week. I know we have maybe Tuesday has something, but outside of that, that's about it. So there won't really be anything outside of the war, whatever's going on with the Strait and Trump and whoop the whoop, right? That should affect the dollar that much. All right, so if we just go by what the chart is telling us, we should all be bullish on the dollar. All right, so yeah, that is what I'm my bias for this week coming on the dollar is a complete push up, just right out the gate, and then continuing for the rest of the week, aiming for this weekly high. All right, so we'll see how that goes, but I'm super bullish on the dollar. All right, guys, moving over to JPY. All right, now here we got to break down JPY because JPY is bearish, right? We broke this low, we made this new low, but then something happened on Friday where this candle broke above Thursday's candle. So here's the close of the candle. Let me get you guys in a little bit more detail. All right, this is the top close of the candle that closed above Friday, and it closed back within the previous week's range. So what that tells me is that we have now shifted, all right, from down, this downward run that we see, we have a change of character on the lower time frame, and I'm going to show you guys that right now. If we go to the 1 hour, all right, you can see this shift clearly, right? And again, guys, it's all about being able to read market structure to know when you have a change or a shift in the direction of where price was going to where it's potentially going to, reverse, all right, and go the opposite direction. But here is where price pushed up on Friday and broke above those Thursday highs, all right, and these were strong highs because they broke lows, right? So after we made the new low, we had massive momentum, all right, and this was all due to China or officials making what they call like an emergency kind of save for their currency, right? So they did things to boost their currency because their currency was super weak. Its value was super low. So they did some things to increase the value, and it showed on Friday. So now that we have this change where we broke above these strong highs, and we have a new high that was formed, right? A higher high. We now have switched from down to up. And if you know anything about when price breaks highs, it will make a new high, and then it will start to retrace back to your points of interest. One being your demand area, so that last bear candle before the push up that broke the high, right, gave a lot of imbalance as it pushed up. So there's a lot of fair value to fill on the way down. All right, So I am expecting JPY to push down, fill these gaps, all right, potentially tap into the demand area before rising all the way back up to the supply area before it may want to think about heading back down, all right. But the thing about it is, you don't know if it's going to get to this point, that point, or all the way to demand. You really don't know. There's even a little fair value gap sitting below demand, so you don't know how that's going to where it's going to stop pretty much. So all you do is wait, and it's just that simple. So you wait to see where it gets to, and then once you start to see more bullish candles like you see here showing up from either one of these areas, these points of interest, then it's time to start selling those JPY pairs. But as we open up the week, I expect the JPY to retrace deeper, all right, probably all day Sunday. Maybe it won't take that long, but just initially Sunday it should continue to fall, and then Monday or Tuesday we may be at that point where we see it start to rise, and that's where you want to take advantage again of selling pairs like GJ and EJ and so forth. All right, so for now I'm bearish on JPY just as it's going to complete its retracement, but I'm overall bullish on JPY because we shifted from down to up, and we just need to complete the retracement before we continue rising up further. All right, so again, temporarily bearish, but overall bullish on JPY, guys. All right, moving over to euro dollar, and as you can see, I'm absolutely bearish on euro dollar. Right, we broke a low here, made the new low, all of the retracement right back up to our point of interest, which is our supply area. Again, the last bull candle before we had a massive push down, breaking structure with imbalance. So we got the imbalance, and then we also got the liquidity sitting behind this actual supply area, the swing point, right? We grabbed that, and then we closed lower on Friday than how far price went on Thursday. So we closed below that. So this is a very heavy bearish indication that we will fall, which also lines up with the correlation of the dollar, right? The DXY index being bullish. All right, guys, this Euro USD is one that it typically does the complete opposite of the dollar. So it's very simple to catch plays on Euro USD when you know what the dollar is doing. So if the dollar is up, you want to sell Euro USD, and then if the dollar is down, then you want to buy Euro USD. It's just that simple. But guys, Euro USD is a fantastic play with a great setup for this week. So you can probably put a position like this, get your stop above supply, because all the manipulation has already taken place, right? And we have bearish divergence where the chart was making higher highs, but the RSI was making lower highs. So again, just more indications that price wants to drop. And there's 356 pips on the table on a standard lot. That's 3 bands, guys. All right, so you can walk away with something nice if you hear what I'm saying. All right, bearish on euro dollar. Over to odd dollar. All right, and again, same exact thing. Swept the high of Thursday and then closed back within the range, but just that wick rejection is showing rejection of bulls. All right, price tried to push up, bear said nope, get up out of here. All right, and so Thursday was the same thing. Even Wednesday was a little bit, but it just wasn't as strong of a rejection as it became on Thursday and Friday. So with that being said, I am still expecting odd dollar to at least fall to this swing point down here at the swing low. All right, and again, we're looking at roughly 330 pips on that, guys. So a very nice trade opportunity to sell odd dollar when the week begins. All right, it'll be best to come back and look at this around 9 p.m. Eastern time on Sunday. That way you can avoid the spread when the market opens around 5-6, right? And all the manipulation that comes right after that. All right, so when 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock hits, the markets are settled, the spreads are low, and you can really see what price actually wants to do. So if you happen to get a close where price pushes down, any candle that closes below the low of Thursday or the low of Friday, that should be your trigger to enter the trade short and aim for this swing low, again about 330 points. So again, a standard will give you three bands. All right, bearish on dollar, same for pound dollar. All right, don't have to give you guys the long spill. Same exact kind of situation, right? Where we were breaking lows here, made new lows, new lows, new lows, eventually had a retracement, filling or sweeping the liquidity from these equal highs, and then tapping into our supply area with massive rejection. So all week from Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we rejected that area. That's telling you something. Okay, so with that being said, again, I'm looking for pound dollar to also fall down to the previous week's low, and that's also giving you over 300 pips. Guys, just trading these major pairs alone will be all you need to succeed this week in making some money in the Forex market. All right, guys, so get with the program and set yourself up. I'm bearish on pound dollar. All right, New Zealand dollar looks just as lovely. Every single one of those pairs in the majors, guys, odd dollar, euro dollar, pound dollar, and New Zealand dollar look very good for the drop. So you guys should know which direction I'm headed in for New Zealand dollar. I'm bearish. All right, over to dollar CAD. So again, dollar's looking bullish, so is dollar CAD. A nice sweep of this liquidity here. Now there is a little bit of a fair value gap below that, and is sitting right above this demand area that you see. But who knows if we will tap into that. All right, all I know is that from the sweep of this liquidity and that rejection, if I get this Sunday candle to close back above Friday's high, I'm definitely going to be buying dollar CAD. All right, but that may not happen. Maybe price will go lower and try to tap into this fair value, tap into the demand area before rising. Right, again, just a little bit of patience is all you need to see what price is really going to do in that regard. But if it doesn't do that, and like I said, it closes above Thursday's candle, that should be your indication or your signal to buy pound or dollar CAD and take it up to the high. We're looking at 268 pips, easy. All right, I'm bullish on dollar CAD. Over to dollar CHF, we had the nice rising channel. All right, I told you guys to sell from the top, and if you did, you made 200 and some odd points or pips last week, right? But now, the week before last, but now we're getting rejection of this nice demand area. So the charts are really telling on themselves this week, with being at our points of interest and then showing massive rejection at those points of interest. So before, it was rejection of supply on odd dollar, euro dollar, pound dollar, New Zealand dollar, right? But now we're seeing rejection of demand on dollar CAD, dollar CHF, and possibly dollar JPY, which we'll check in a second. But this is a very good setup for a buying opportunity on dollar CHF. Going back up to the top is going to give you about 200 pips, and it's very ready to go, but just give it a little time to kind of iron things out for Sunday. And then again, if you get any candles that break above Thursday or Friday's high, or back within the weekly range, then you definitely want to take that buy and watch it fly. All right, bullish on dollar CHF. Over to dollar JPY, and on Friday again, the rejection was there, swept the previous week's low, and we closed back within the range of Thursday. But you can just see how much price is respecting this demand area and having a hard time breaking below it. Therefore, we should be looking for buying opportunities on dollar JPY, even though the JPY looks bullish, right? It's going to go bullish, but eventually it's going to drop first, right? I'm expecting that retracement down on JPY which will cause UJ to potentially rise up, right? So we can get to this swing point on UJ, or maybe this one all the way to the left. Either way, it's looking like a good buying opportunity for now. And then maybe later on in the week, you may have a selling opportunity. But for now, very bullish on dollar JPY. Over the pound odd, right? So we swept the low of Thursday and we kind of closed back within it. And we're sitting at a bit of a demand level or support level here. So there is a high possibility that we can get a rise on pound odd coming back up to this particular swing high. So again, everything's bullish. We went from bearish to changing structure up to bullish, right? Retracement back to a point of interest. And now all we need is some bullish candles to show up. So probably just giving this a day or two to give you that, and then taking the trade on Wednesday or Thursday or Friday, you'll see that massive move back up to this swing point here. All right, and we're talking 500 pips on pound odd, guys. Try not to sleep on the beat. My team caught the whole retracement. We got over 300 pips, and now we may as well turn it around and catch the buy up for 500. It's like taking candy from a baby. Bullish on pound odd. Over to pound CAD. All right, same thing here, where we broke this structure level. We even broke above this high and this high, right, making this new high, right? And now as we're retracing, right, we're heading towards a demand area. So because we broke lower than Thursday, I expect price to continue falling, potentially sweeping the low of last week before it rises up. So we'll have to be on the lookout for that. So temporarily bearish as price drops to our points of interest or to sweep liquidity, and then from there bullish on pound CAD. All right, guys, moving over to pound CHF. Again, pound CHF is still pretty ugly, right? Very nasty consolidation here. And all I can see is this is maybe part of a retracement, because we did have this high point that broke this low point. All right, so I'll just illustrate that to you guys here. All right, we had some sort of break of structure, and then we have our actual low that was created. So technically, all of this that we're seeing is internal to this high and this low, but because we're now at this level of supply, okay, there is a very good chance that we'll see pound CHF drop. All right, but just watch out, because I think we may get a sweep first before we get the drop. But if we don't, then again, just look for that drop back down to the swing low, and that's for about 270 some odd pips, right? Bearish on pound CHF. Over to pound New Zealand. So we sold it as it rejected this supply and came down. We had a little bit of profit, but it's taking forever in a lifetime for this trade to drop. So I see that it can go and get some more liquidity from these areas, which it may very well try to do. All right, when we look at it on a lower time frame, like the 2 hour, we can see, we have plenty of opportunity for it to kind of, head up. So this one is very tricky. But because it's low, right, meaning it dropped a good deal, I am going to be expecting it to rise, when the market opens, right, getting to these areas. And then from there, it's most likely when we'll get the drop that we've been waiting for and looking for on pound New Zealand. All right, so temporarily bullish, overall bearish on pound New Zealand. All right, moving over to GJ. All right, so GJ broke this strong high, made the new high, consolidated a good bit, and then eventually we had a change of character where we broke below this low. So now we have our supply area on the lower time frame here that we are expecting price to retrace to, right? So like I mentioned, JPY is going to fall first, so GJ most likely will pull up. All right, and then once it's here, that's when JPY should be ready to rise, and you should be ready to sell, where it will give you a tremendous position on GJ with a very good stop loss, so you can get away with something like 45 pips and take it all the way to where Fibonacci says it's going to go, right, which is about 230 pips, or you can take it to the low of the previous week, which is almost 500 pips, guys. All right, so once again, I'm telling you, these JPY pairs are set up to make a major move down, but you'll most likely see them make a move up first to their respected supply areas that they created on Friday before they tank. All right, so watch out for that, and again, take advantage of it when it is ready to go. All right, bearish on GJ. Over to silver. All right, and bearish on silver. All right, so the straight was open. That was all good news. All the indices went and pushed and made new all-time highs. Right, stuff is going crazy, but silver and gold did not rise. All right, they did rise, but now they're set to fall with the structure that we have. This rising wedge is a bearish reversal pattern. We had a bearish engulfing candle that was formed on Friday, and then we also closed below the low of the high of probably Thursday. So this is all just saying or screaming that it wants to drop, right? But we need to look at that lower time frame, because we can see that, again, this is still kind of hovering around a bit of a support level. Okay, so because of this, we may see a potential push up on silver before we get the drop. So please watch out for that, right? Don't just sell silver right now, especially as it's already dropped for 6 hours on Friday, right? Wait for price to give you some kind of retracement up if you're still thinking about selling it. That way you can catch it from a premium price and a higher price, which is the best thing for selling something. All right, but let's say we don't get that rise and silver just continues to fall, right? This is another demand area where it can stop at and potentially reverse and go up from. Okay, so what you're looking for in this kind of scenario is you're looking for price to break below that demand and then break below this support area as well. If you can get that candle closed like this, then that's where you have your confirmation that price wants to continue falling. And so simply wait for price to retrace, right? And then bears to show up, and then pull the trigger, stop above the high, take profit at the swing, and that will make you a lot of money on silver. All right, shout out to my boy Martez, making about a good 20K a week or two ago off of silver alone. All right, guys, so again, it can be that type of party for you if you know what you're doing and if you wait for price to show you what it needs to show you. All right, so again, if you want to get in the mix, forexwithbain.com, come holla at me. All right, bearish on silver. Moving over to gold, and again on gold, guys, we have a nice trend line, upward trend line, liquidity sitting all behind that, and then we also have gold just kind of finicky on the highs that it's making, right? Very, very tattletale-ish, if you will, for giving this wedge pattern, which is a bearish reversal pattern. What I think gold is going to do, though, is I think it's going to push up, all right, and probably get into this fair value gap or tap the supply before we get that fall all the way down to the swing low. All right, just watch out for that, so that again you're not down or in the negative by selling first, right? Because I'm bearish on it, right? Again, it's not financial advice, guys, just what I'm going to do or what I'm seeing, right? Wait for some of that push up first. All right, again, mitigating the imbalance, right? And possibly tapping into supply, where then after you get some bearish candles show up, that's where you want to sell it from and get your stops above the high aim for any low that you would like, and you should have a good night on gold. All right, I'm bearish. Okay, moving over to natural gas, and natural gas has finally started to curve up. Right, took a long time, but it is what it is. So I'm expecting it to continue rising, and it's just that simple. I'm bullish on natural gas. All right, moving over to oil. All right, so since the straight open, oil dropped, and you guys better hurry up and go get your gas, as prices should be lower now. All right, but what I'm seeing is again, we gapped down, so that gap is not full yet. That is a fair value gap to the downside, and then we broke a low, so we made a new low, and now we can kind of place Fibonacci on from this high to this low to see that, okay, oil may retrace back to these areas again, may get into the gap, may even touch supply before it continues to drop. Okay, so there may be a buying opportunity first on oil, and then maybe possibly another selling opportunity when we get to the supply. But it seems as though the straight has been closed again, so that may not be good for oil, and oil may not respect the supply area when it rises up. It may get up to supply and just completely blast through it because of that straight being closed once again. Okay, but again, anything is possible to change, once the market opens, right? So kind of, don't just go by, what's in the news, right? Kind of make sure that the charts are lining up with whatever your sentiment is because of, whatever Trump does. And that will, that'll make you feel better about the trade. But oil is very bearish at the moment, so maybe a little push up before a drop. But if it breaks above supply, then you definitely want to be looking for your buying opportunity. All right, for now, I'm bearish on oil. All right, over to SPY. And like I mentioned, guys, SPY, NAS, US 30 all went crazy, making new all-time highs. And I'm, simply going by what goes up must come down, right? So 2 weeks or so, just straight push up. And now we've ran into, a bit of a wall or a ceiling or what have you, that when we look at it on a lower time frame, all right, we can see that again, it's still very, very bullish, right? So if we want to sell it, right, we want to see price get all the way back down below this low, right? Once it gets below that low, then we should have confidence in getting to a sell on SPY. But until that happens, again, price come all the way down here, respect it and rise up, and then make new all-time highs on that run. So we don't just want to sell right now, even though you can, because you may make some money on the way down, but you want that confirmation because price is so high, right, and it's so parabolic that it's hard to get structure on the higher time frame. So if you can see price getting below this low with a nice candle open and close, then you can either take the sell as a breakout, or you can wait for price to retrace up a little higher into discount and then sell it from there, taking it all the way down to, again, the weekly low, which is also an area where it has a double bottom, all right, and you'll get 581 points off of SPY. That is unheard of, guys, but very, very possible. So again, try to get in where you fit in on a selling opportunity with SPY once it breaks below this price point, right? 7.007. All right, moving bearish on SPY. Over to NAS. All right, and same exact thing, pushed up higher and higher. So until we break below this low right here, we are still bullish. Okay, so if price gets here and it just kind of dances around, you can kind of try to take your long position and try to catch it back up to wherever that previous high happens to be, and you may make some money. All right, but if we get the break where price comes down and we break below this low, opening and closing of a candle, then that's where you're going to have more confirmation that price most likely is going to continue dropping. All right, just got to be patient, guys, and wait for that to happen. If it does, pull the trigger and you will see what we see. All right, bearish on NAS, moving over to US 30 last but not least, and it was giving bullish vibes just like NAS and US 30, SPY, but now it's giving a little bit more bearish sentiment as we've gotten up to this level of supply. We've rejected it and we started to fall a bit. All right, so once again, in order to sell, we want to see price get below this structure low. Okay, so you can sell as you're just trying to catch the retracement, and then turn around and buy it once it gets to point of interest and bull candles show up. But if it breaks, right, especially if it breaks these lows, that's where you want to get in for the kill with a nice lot size on a sell position on US 30, because US 30 can absolutely get you paid. All right, so that'll be it, guys. I hope you guys are ready to take advantage of these plays. If there's something that you're looking at or you want to analyze, please drop that in the comments. Let me know. We can talk about it and discuss. All right, make sure to get your friends and family in the mix. Right, tell them like and subscribe, and great things are on the way. All right, especially this week if you just stay patient and then take advantage. All right, but guys, in the meantime, in between time, y'all know what it is. It's your boy. Peace.
Wanna get money? Wanna get paid? That's Forex. Like a sensei, then you gotta come and swing my way. And if you wanna fast forward, hit replay.